Question 131. What is the primary function of a honeypot in network security? A. To defend against cyber attacks. B. To attract and monitor attackers. C. To prevent unauthorized access to sensitive data. D. To analyze network traffic patterns. Correct answer. B. To attract and monitor attackers. Honeypot is a security resource designed to appear vulnerable and enticing to attackers. Its primary function is to attract cybercriminals, providing a controlled environment to observe their tactics, techniques, and behaviors. This allows security teams to analyze attack methods and gather intelligence, helping improve overall network defenses. Question 132. Which type of team is responsible for testing security by using tools and techniques that a real attacker would employ? A. Blue team. B. Purple team. C. Red team. D. White team. Correct answer. C. Red team. A red team is a group of security experts assigned to assess and challenge an organization's defenses by using the same tactics, techniques, and tools that actual attackers would employ. Their objective is to simulate a real-world attack, uncover vulnerabilities, and assess how the organization responds to security incidents. Question 133. Which of the following is not a core component of the security triad? A. Distributed. B. Physical. C. Operational. D. Management. Correct answer. A. Distributed. Distributed is not a core component of the security triad. The other options, physical, operational, and management, relate to various aspects of security management, but are not part of the fundamental CIA triad. The CIA triad focuses on ensuring that data is protected against unauthorized access, confidentiality, maintained accurately, integrity, and available when needed, availability. Question 134. James is a network administrator for an insurance company. His company has a number of traveling salespeople. He is concerned about confidential data on their laptops. What is the best way for him to address this? A. DMZ. B. FDE. C. SDN. D. TPM. Correct answer. B. FDE. Full disk encryption fully encrypts the hard drive on a computer. This is an effective method for ensuring the security of data on a computer. Trusted platform modules are store keys and are used for boot integrity and other cryptographic needs and won't directly protect the data. Software-defined networking is virtualized networking, and demilitarized zones are used to segment a network and won't affect this problem. Question 135. From a physical security standpoint, which of the following represents an equivalent concept to a VLAN? A. Firewall. B. Partitioning. C. Perimeter security. D. Security zones. Correct answer. B. Partitioning. Partitioning represents an equivalent concept to a VLAN from a physical security standpoint. Both partitioning and VLANs are methods of dividing a network into smaller, more manageable segments. This can be done for a variety of reasons, including security, performance, and manageability. VLAN stands for Virtual Local Area Network. It is a method of grouping devices on a network together logically, regardless of their physical location. VLANs are created using special switches that can tag traffic with a VLAN identifier. Devices that belong to the same VLAN can communicate with each other directly. while devices that belong to different VLANs cannot communicate with each other unless they are routed. Partitioning is a more general term that refers to the act of dividing a network into smaller, more manageable segments. Partitioning can be done using a variety of methods, including VLANs, firewalls, and access control lists. Question 136. Which of the following is the best description for a collection of computers that have been compromised and are being controlled from one central point? A. AttackNet. B. Botnet. C. NullNet. D. ZombieNet. Correct answer. B. Botnet. A collection of computers that are compromised, then centrally controlled to perform actions like denial of service attacks, data collection, and other malicious activities are called a botnet. ZombieNets, NullNets, and AttackNets are not commonly used terms to describe botnets. Question 137. What term is used to describe spam over instant messaging services? A. IMSPAM. B. SMSPAM. C. SPIM. D. Two-face timing. Correct answer. C. SPIM. Although this is one of the more dated items on the Security Plus exam outline, you need to know that the term for instant messaging spam messages is SPIM. The rest of the answers were made up, and though this shows up in the exam outline, the rest of the world has moved on from using this term. Question 138. What type of information is phishing not typically designed to obtain? A. Credit card numbers. B. Email addresses. C. Passwords. D. Personal information. Correct answer. B. Email addresses. Phishing is a cyber attack where attackers impersonate legitimate organizations or individuals to trick victims into revealing sensitive information, such as credit card numbers. Phishing often targets credit card details for financial theft. Passwords. Phishing attacks frequently attempt to steal login credentials, such as passwords for online accounts. Personal information. Phishing also seeks to steal other personal data, such as social security numbers, dates of birth, or addresses for identity theft or fraud. Question 139. Which of the following types of firewalls acts as an intermediary between internal and external networks to inspect complete sessions? A. Stateful inspection firewall. B. Proxy firewall. C. Packet filtering firewall. D. Next generation firewall. Correct answer. B. Proxy firewall. A proxy firewall acts as an intermediary between internal and external networks by forwarding requests from internal clients to external servers and vice versa. It inspects the entire session of the traffic, ensuring that the communication meets security policies before allowing the data to pass through. Question 140. What is a disadvantage of network-based firewalls? A. They can only protect against internal network threats. B. They cannot detect attacks originating from within the network. C. They have no capability to secure VPN connections. D. They are unable to filter traffic based on user identity. Correct answer. B. They cannot detect attacks originating from within the network. Network-based firewalls are designed to monitor and filter traffic coming into and going out of the network, but they may have limitations in detecting and mitigating attacks that originate from within the internal network. This is because their primary focus is on external threats, and they might not have the same level of visibility into lateral movements or insider threats within the network. Question 141. When phishing attacks are so concentrated that they target a specific high-ranking or important individual, they are called what? A. Phishing. B. Spear phishing. C. Targeted phishing. D. Whaling. Correct answer. D. Whaling. Whaling is targeting a specific individual who is important in the organization, like the president or chief financial officer. Spear phishing targets specific individuals or groups, but whaling is more specific in terms of the importance of the individuals involved. Targeted phishing is not a term used in the industry. Phishing is the generic term for a wide range of related attacks, and you should choose the most accurate answer for questions like this. Question 142. What attacks can be caused by a user being unaware of their physical surroundings? A. ARP poisoning. B. Phishing. C. Shoulder surfing. D. Smurf attack. Correct answer. C. Shoulder surfing. Shoulder surfing involves literally looking over someone's shoulder in a public place and gathering information, perhaps login passwords. ARP poisoning alters the address resolution protocol tables in the switch. Phishing is an attempt to gather information, often via email, or to convince a user to click a link to and/or download an attachment. A Smurf attack is a historical form of denial of service attack. Question 143. James is asked to conduct a vulnerability scan. He does not know why the scan results are needed. What would be the best explanation for him in this situation? A. The scans will show the programs the attackers used. B. The scans will show the versions of software installed before the attack. C. The scans will show where firewalls and other network devices were in place to help with incident analysis. D. Vulnerable services will provide clues about what the attackers may have targeted. Correct answer. D. Vulnerable services will provide clues about what the attackers may have targeted. Incident responders are aware that scan results can reveal vulnerable systems and services, which can help in determining how attackers gained access to the systems. However, the scans may not provide information about the specific programs used by the attackers, but they may reveal any services that have been changed or enabled by them. The scans can also show the software versions that were installed before the attack, but this information may not be helpful unless the attackers modified or upgraded the software or the software was already vulnerable. Additionally, the scans may indicate the location of network security devices, but this information should already be available to the incident response team without having to resort to scans to find it out. Question 144. In the context of incident investigation, what kind of information is obtained by using monitoring tools like PRTG and CompTIA that are capable of tracking SNMP data? A. Authentication logs. B. Bandwidth monitoring. C. Email metadata. D. System log information. Correct answer. B. Bandwidth monitoring. PRTG and CompTIA are network monitoring tools that can provide data regarding bandwidth usage. Such bandwidth monitors can be useful in detecting abnormal bandwidth usage, exfiltration, and other relevant information that can aid in identifying and investigating incidents. If faced with a similar question in an exam, even if you are not acquainted with these tools, you can rely on your understanding of the purpose of simple network management protocol to determine which category is the most probable answer. Question 145. Which of these key factors is typically absent from a communication plan's design? A. Cost to the organization. B. Customer impact. C. Employee impact. D. Incident severity. Correct answer. A. Cost to the organization. The financial impact on the organization is usually not included in communication planning, as the costs of an incident can vary widely, and revealing them can lead to concern or even erode customer confidence. Incident response processes generally do not disclose the costs associated with the incident. Effective communication with customers and employees is crucial, and having distinct communication plans for different levels of severity helps guarantee that appropriate communication takes place. Question 146. Which type of firewall tracks the state of network connections, offering more security than a basic packet filtering firewall? A. Proxy firewall. B. Stateful inspection firewall. C. Packet filtering firewall. D. Next generation firewall. Correct answer. B. Stateful inspection firewall. Stateful inspection firewall is designed to track the state of network connections, offering more security than a basic packet filtering firewall. It monitors the full state of active connections and uses this information to determine whether incoming packets are part of an established connection or not, ensuring that only legitimate traffic is allowed through while unauthorized or unsolicited packets are blocked. Question 147. What is the main function of a network-based firewall? A. To inspect and filter network traffic. B. To manage email communication. C. To prevent internal users from accessing external websites. D. To monitor file transfers across the network. Correct answer. A. To inspect and filter network traffic. Network-based firewall is designed to inspect and filter network traffic. It operates at the perimeter of a network, monitoring and controlling incoming and outgoing traffic based on predefined security rules. This helps protect the network from unauthorized access, malware, and other security threats by blocking potentially harmful traffic while allowing legitimate communications. Question 148. Which type of IPS is installed directly on devices like computers and servers? A. Host-based IPS. B. Network-based IPS. C. Cloud-based IPS. D. Application-based IPS. Correct answer. A. Host-based IPS. Host-based intrusion prevention systems are installed directly on devices such as computers and servers. They monitor and protect the device from attacks by analyzing inbound and outbound traffic, system activities, and system configurations to detect and block malicious activity. Question 149. Why is continuous monitoring important in the Zero Trust model? A. To ensure fast data transfers. B. To eliminate the need for authentication. C. To detect and respond to threats in real time. D. To reduce the complexity of the network. Correct answer. C. To detect and respond to threats in real time. Continuous monitoring in the Zero Trust model detects and responds to threats in real time by evaluating user activities, device behaviors, and network traffic for anomalies. This helps address potential risks promptly, ensuring system integrity and reducing the chances of data breaches or unauthorized access. Question 150. Why is accounting important in the TPP framework? A. To simplify the authentication process. B. To restrict user access to sensitive resources. C. To provide logs for analysis, reporting, or investigation purposes. D. To enforce network security policies automatically. Correct answer. C. To provide logs for analysis, reporting, or investigation purposes. In the AAA framework, authentication, authorization, and accounting, accounting provides logs that can be analyzed for various purposes, including security investigations, performance monitoring, and compliance reporting. By maintaining detailed records of who accessed what resources and when, organizations can identify suspicious behavior, generate audit trails, and comply with regulatory requirements. Question 151. What is an insider threat? A. A type of cyber attack from external hackers. B. A threat originating from within the organization. C. A software vulnerability exploited by malicious actors. D. A threat caused by natural disasters affecting systems. Correct answer. B. A threat originating from within the organization. Insider threat refers to a risk posed by individuals within the organization, such as employees, contractors, or business partners. These individuals may intentionally or unintentionally misuse their access to harm the organization, whether through data theft, sabotage, or other malicious activities. Question 152. What attacks can be caused by a user being unaware of their physical surroundings? A. ARP poisoning. B. Phishing. C. Shoulder surfing. D. Smurf attack. Correct answer. C. Shoulder surfing. Shoulder surfing involves literally looking over someone's shoulder in a public place and gathering information, perhaps login passwords. ARP poisoning alters the address resolution protocol tables in the switch. Phishing is an attempt to gather information, often via email, or to convince a user to click a link to and/or download an attachment. A Smurf attack is a historical form of denial of service attack. Question 153. What is a recommended approach to reducing negligent insider threats? A. Increasing physical security around sensitive data. B. Providing cybersecurity awareness training for employees. C. Monitoring employee social media. D. Limiting internet access for employees. Correct answer. B. Providing cybersecurity awareness training for employees. Training helps employees understand security risks such as phishing, social engineering, and proper data handling, reducing the likelihood of accidental mistakes or negligence. Well-informed employees are better equipped to follow security protocols and identify potential threats, enhancing the organization's overall security posture. Question 154. What is shadow IT, and why is it a security risk in cloud environments? A. The use of unauthorized cloud services by employees without IT knowledge. B. Unauthorized cloud services being used outside of IT management and control. C. A technique used by attackers to exploit cloud vulnerabilities. D. The use of old cloud infrastructure that is no longer secure. Correct answer. B. Unauthorized cloud services being used outside of IT management and control. Shadow IT refers to the use of cloud services, software, and other IT resources by employees without the knowledge or approval of the organization's IT department. This can lead to significant security risks because these unauthorized services may not comply with the organization's security policies, lack proper oversight, and can potentially expose sensitive data to vulnerabilities. Question 155. What is the main risk associated with credential stuffing attacks in cloud environments? A. Using leaked credentials to access multiple cloud accounts. B. Accessing APIs without authorization. C. Launching denial of service attacks. D. Exploiting vulnerabilities in cloud infrastructure. Correct answer. A. Using leaked credentials to access multiple cloud accounts. Credential stuffing attacks involve using leaked or stolen usernames and passwords to gain unauthorized access to multiple accounts. In cloud environments, this is risky because many users reuse passwords across services. If attackers succeed, they can access multiple accounts, compromising sensitive information and cloud service security. Question 156. What makes SSL stripping particularly risky on open Wi-Fi networks? A. 802.11 AC is insecure and traffic can be redirected. B. Open hotspots can be accessed by any user. C. Open hotspots do not assert their identity in a secure way. D. WPA2 is not secure enough to prevent this. Correct answer. C. Open hotspots do not assert their identity in a secure way. Since open Wi-Fi hotspots do not have a way to prove they are legitimate, they can be easily spoofed. Attackers can stand up a fake version of the hotspot and then conduct an SSL stripping attack by inserting themselves into sessions that victims attempt to open to secure servers. Question 157. Which of the following types of the penetration tests is being done when the tester is supplied with extensive knowledge of the target network? A. Full disclosure. B. Known environment. C. Red team. D. Unknown environment. Correct answer. B. Known environment. In a known environment, white box test, the tester is given extensive knowledge of the target network. Full disclosure is not a term used to describe testing. Unknown environment black box testing involves only very minimal information being given to the tester. A red team test simulates a particular type of attackers, such as a nation-state attacker, an insider, or other types of attacker. Question 158. What type of attack uses a second wireless access point, WAP, that broadcasts the same SSID as a legitimate access point in trying to get users to connect to the attacker's WAP? A. Evil twin. B. IP spoofing. C. Privilege escalation. D. Trojan horse. Correct answer. A. Evil twin. Evil twin attacks use a malicious access point configured to appear to be identical to a legitimate AP. Attackers wait for their targets to connect via the evil twin and can then capture or modify traffic however they wish. IP spoofing uses the IP address of a system already on the network. Trojan horses are malware that appears to be legitimate software or files. And privilege escalation is the process of using exploits to gain higher privileges. Question 159. A browser toolbar is an example of what type of malware? A. A pup. B. A rat. C. A rootkit. D. A worm. Correct answer. A. A pup. Browser toolbars are sometimes examples of PUPS, or potentially unwanted programs like spyware or adware. A worm is a type of malware that spreads on its own by exploiting vulnerabilities on network-connected systems. Once it infects a system, it will typically scan for other vulnerable systems and continue to spread. A rat is a remote access Trojan, and a rootkit is used to gain and keep administrative access. Question 160. What is the main cause of improper input handling? A. Improper error handling. B. Improper source code review. C. Lack of user awareness. D. Trusting rather than validating data inputs. Correct answer. D. Trusting rather than validating data inputs. Trusting rather than validating user input is the root cause of improper input handling. All input should be considered potentially malicious and thus treated as untrusted. Appropriate filtering, validation, and testing should be performed to ensure that only valid data input is accepted and processed. Thank you for watching. If you found this helpful for you, don't forget to like, drop a comment, and subscribe for more practice questions and tips.